So welcome everybody, and welcome to this session about the program Cybersecurity and Network Administration. My name is Andrea, and I work at the international office here at the university, and I have here my colleagues, and they are going to present themselves. Sarah?
Hi, yes. Hi, my name is Sarah Larson. I also work here at the University of Skövde as an international coordinator. And we also have the program coordinator for the program here, Marcus, and he will introduce himself next.
Yes, hi everybody, welcome. My name is Marcus. I'm the program coordinator for the Cybersecurity and Network Administration Bachelor program. Nice to have you here.
And we also have Genti joining us.
Hello, my name is Reddy. I'm a student ambassador here in the University of Skövde. I've been studying data science for the last 2 years, and I'm here to demonstrate how life is in Skövde through the eyes of an international student. So any questions, I will be very happy to answer later on.
Awesome. So let me just go through the agenda for today really quick. We will try to make this webinar as informative for you guys as possible so you can make an informed decision when you're applying to our university. First, we will talk a little bit about Sweden and Skövde, our town, as well as introduce you to our university, of course. After that, you will get to talk directly to the program coordinator and ask questions about the program that we're talking about here today. We will then move on talking about student life here in Sweden, tuition, living costs, scholarship opportunities, everything that you might want to know. And then they will share his stories about studying here with us in Skövde. Finally, you will of course want to know how to apply to this program, right? Because hopefully we've sold it to you well enough. So we will talk about how to apply and the application process because there are always questions about this, which I completely understand, and we will try to answer them as best as we can. If you have questions throughout this presentation, we have the Q&A box open, and we prefer to get all questions in the Q&A box rather than in the chat because we use the chat for sharing links and things like that. So it's easier for people to find the links if there aren't questions there. So please make sure you post the questions in the Q&A section instead. And we will have one Q&A first with the program coordinator, Marcus, and then you will get to answer or ask some questions to Renti about student life. And then at the end, we will follow up from the international office's side with all your questions about admission and those technical things that you want to know as well. I also want to inform you guys that we're using QR codes throughout this presentation. So keep your phones ready so you can screenshot anything you might want to come back to later on. So let us begin with the presentation, and over to you, Andrea.
Thank you, Sarah. So Sweden may be a small country in terms of population, but its global influence is remarkable. So with just over 10 million people, Sweden consistently ranks among the world's most innovative nations in the world. So according to the Global Innovation Index 2024, Sweden is placed third in the world, reflecting a strong focus on research, sustainability, and creativity. So have you heard of Spotify or Dynamite? So they are all Swedish inventions. You can see on the screen lots of Swedish inventions. And so Sweden has a long tradition of shaping daily life and science around the globe. Other notable Swedish innovations include the pacemaker, Bluetooth, and even IKEA's unique design philosophy. So Sweden's culture of innovation is driven by close collaboration between universities, industry, and governments, combined with values like openness, equality, and trust. And so also, Sweden is also renowned for its contributions to science. The Nobel Prize, founded by Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite, is a global symbol of scientific excellence. So, Sarah, do you want to talk about lagom?
Of course, yes.
What do you mean?
So in Sweden, we have a concept called lagom, and I'm sure you're not familiar with it, but if you come here to study, you definitely will be pretty soon because it's super, super well-used word here. And it means not too little and not too much, just the right amount. And to us, Skövde is exactly that. It's located right in the heart of Sweden, between the two biggest lakes we have, Lake Vänern and Lake Vättern. It's also perfectly located between Gothenburg and Stockholm, our biggest cities. So it's very easy to commute to those as well. And even right in between our neighboring capitals, Oslo in Norway and Copenhagen in Denmark. So Skövde is really lagom in many ways. And if we go to the next slide, you can really see, yeah, exactly. You can really see how Skövde captures the feeling of being lagom, both in nature and in city life. So in the town itself, everything is very close and easy to get to. We have modern shops, cafes, and they blend in very naturally with the quiet streets and green surroundings here in Skövde. In the picture in the right corner, down corner, you see the Mount Billingen, and that is the mountain we have right here in our town, actually. And at around 300 meters in height, we think this is a very lagom mountain because it's easy to reach. It takes about 30 minutes to hike to the top. And in Sweden, we find that to be the perfect amount of hiking to do in one day. So definitely explore that if you come here. Another thing that is definitely worth seeing around here is the monastery in Varnhem, which you can see in the upper right corner there. It's nearly 1,000 years old, actually, and it tells the story of Sweden's kings and spiritual roots. And it's actually just the perfect lagom balance between past and present. But if we move to the next slide, we can see why Sweden, or why Skövde in particular, is not so lagom, because we are actually the student city of the year. That means that we are the best student city in Sweden right now. And if I want to tell you a little bit of a secret, this is not the first time we won this award. It's actually the second. So we definitely are the best student city in Sweden. And this award was given out by the Swedish National Union of Students. And we were given the award for our nice welcoming of new students, the contact students have with business and the public sector here in Skövde, and also the increased availability of student housing in the city. So we're very proud to have received this award, of course. And now Andrea will tell you a little bit more about the university.
Yes. So the University of Skövde was established in 1977 by an act of the Swedish Parliament. We are a public institution. So the university is a government agency in Sweden under the Swedish Ministry of Education and Research. So the university is a sort of fusion between the old and the new. You can see in the pictures there, and with several old military buildings that have been renovated and outfitted with new technology and providing a stimulating and creative environment. So the atmosphere also encouraged simplicity in the contact between students and teachers. As you can see in the top pictures there, when you come to Sweden, you can expect all these vibrant and distinct seasons. You can even see this with our backgrounds, you know. So you can see these rich colors, you know, with the autumn, as you can see Sarah's background, and in the picture there is super beautiful. I really love it. I love the autumn. And then also the, you know, the glimmer of ice and the frost in the winter, you know. And we're hoping for a good winter. We are hoping for a lot of snow this year. And so, and also the summer, that is just wonderful here. And of course, if you're here in the summer, you should really go to the beach as well. So, Sarah, do you want to give some quick facts about the university?
Of course, yes. And I'm going to run through these quickly, but maybe it's interesting for some of you to know about the size of our university. So we have at this point 11,558 students. We have 495 staff, and 2/3 of those are actually academic staff, which we're very proud of. And that means a lot of support for you guys, of course. We have more than 60 student nationalities here, so we're a very international school. and 24 international programs, 130 partner universities in more than 30 countries, and 450 incoming international students yearly. So you won't be alone here being an international student. We also have 90 or more outgoing exchange students every year. And Andrea will tell you a little bit about the location as well.
Yes, so this is an overview of our campus. So the university is indicated in blue, and it does not take more than a couple of minutes to get from one side to the other here at the university. And all of the university's student accommodations are within walking distance from the university campus. So the green area is where the Science Park Hub is located, and the pink area is a joint research and innovation environment. So half of this building, this white building there in the pink area, half of the building belongs to the university, to the schools of the here at the university, the School of Engineering and the School of Informatics, and on the other building, it belongs to the Science Park Hub. On the ground floor, there are common conference facilities and a restaurant that is a great meeting place between the academia and the surrounding business community. And the university is growing due to the strong cooperation with our partners within the industry. For example, we have a new facility called ASSAR in the Industrial Innovation Arena, an initiative from the University of Skövde, Science Park Skövde, and Volvo Group. I'm gonna change the slide here, and this is shows our 5 schools. So we are one of the most specialized universities in Sweden. We have 5 schools, so the School of Bioscience, the School of Engineering Science, the School of Informatics, the School of Business, and the School of Health Science. And each school has a research area connected to it. Research is conducted within 5 areas, so informatics, system biology, virtual systems, health sciences, and enterprises for the future. And Sarah, so I'm going to talk about the School of Informatics here very quick. So it combines cutting-edge research with hands-on education, preparing students for careers in emerging fields like AI, data science, gaming, and cybersecurity. So here you can see some data, quick facts about the university. There are 2,568 students and 92 academic staff and 12 professors. And the focus is in computer science, artificial intelligence, and serious games. And the subjects we have in the school is informatics, data science, cybersecurity, and integrity, user experience design, game development, media arts, aesthetics, and narration. And now we're going to, it's your turn, Marcus. You're going to talk about the program Cybersecurity and Network Administration.
Yes, that is correct, Andrea. Let me just share my screen here first. I have prepared a small presentation, of course. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, very nice. Let me just... I just need to get everything up here. Perhaps I should do it like this. Sorry, just a second.
It's okay. So while Marcus is getting ready, I can just tell you guys that if you have questions for him, we're going to have a Q&A session right after his little presentation. So just leave any questions you have in the Q&A box and we will get to them shortly.
Yes, great, exactly. And there we are. Now I can change my slides as well. Okay, great. So welcome to this webinar. My name is Marcus Birot. I'm the program coordinator for cybersecurity and network administration. And I'm sure you are all here because you are interested in cybersecurity and are well aware of what you what your interests are. But I like to start this presentation of the program with a short background why we have started this program. It's a relatively new program. It's been running for 1.5 years. So we have our first second-year students starting this autumn. And hopefully we will run for many years. And the reason we started this is because there is an extremely big gap between the people that we need in cybersecurity and the supply that we have. The gap is increasing, and I usually let the numbers here talk for themselves. These numbers are a bit old, but it doesn't really matter because they tell the story anyway. When we get to the last one here, we can see that the cybersecurity attacks are increasing, and the workforce gap is unfortunately increasing as well. I usually say that the outlook for the future of cybersecurity is very bleak, and the security threats is greater than ever. And on top of this, of course, we have this increasing gap between the demand for and the supply of skilled cybersecurity workers. Even though we're at an all-time high of 5.5 million professionals working in this field, this is still not enough. And the growth has actually basically flatlined the last 2 years. We have a mere 0.1% increase in the workforce, according to DeepSeek, a security company. And to add on this even more, we see an increasing demand from the industry of people that can build and manage networks and data centers from the ground up. As I'm sure you're all aware of, the geopolitical situation that we are in right now, security-wise, makes due to the political situation that we are in, we cannot rely anymore or be dependent on cloud services and other nations' solutions. We need to be able to control things ourselves, because there are some great nations that, if they wanted to, they could just shut down our entire business. If we look at it from an organizational perspective, and even as a democracy and a nation, we are so dependent on other people, and we are so vulnerable. So we need the competence in-house to actually run all of these technical things on premises within our borders and be able to secure it. So with that said, we thought that we had to do what we can to decrease this workforce gap, and we have started the CNA program, the Cybersecurity and Network Administration program. And our goal is to combine network and system administration with a clear focus on cybersecurity. So we will not only be able to secure something or secure the networks or penetration test the networks, we will also be able to build them from scratch and understand how they work. And we are actually a sister program to a long-running program here at the university called Network and System Administration program. So we have some similarities with that, and we study a lot of courses together with that program. But you will have a more security in your education and more security profile when you get out of here. We offer a wide variety of courses, and our goal is to start with foundational skills and then build upon that to give you everything that you need. Our overarching goal is to give you as much information and as much foundational knowledge so you can deep dive into any parts of the IT industry that you feel that you're interested in. You will see that in the course curriculum on the next slide. But the main point is that we have a clear focus on security in all areas, both administrative and risk management, but also the really technical parts of how to secure a network and how to attack networks as well. We have a close collaboration with various organizations and companies in Sweden. For example, we have a close collaboration with TruSec, and they are one of Sweden's biggest security companies doing security work for other super big companies in Sweden, and they are spreading out in Europe as well. They usually come to us and give some guest lectures and show us the latest, coolest stuff, and we are really happy for that. And we also, for example, have collaboration with the Swedish police in regards of digital forensics and incident response. And yeah, that is pretty cool. So as I said, this program started in the autumn 2024. So you will, if you apply, you will be the third class to start this program. So we are still quite fresh, and we have yet some courses that we created that we haven't given. So it's we have a lot of fun things to look at in the future here. Okay, so just to give you a quick overview of the course curriculum, which courses are included in the program, you can see there's a wide variety of courses ranging from fundamental courses like computer fundamentals, introduction to data communication. We start off quite basic with the foundation, but we quickly escalate and dive deeper into more specific stuff already in the second semester in the springtime with Linux and Windows administration. And you will learn the foundation of programming, and we will advance into script programming and computer forensics, and of course we have cyber operations and everything, all the fun stuff here. I think the titles for the courses speaks for themselves. Please ask questions if you're interested in what is included in the various courses. Yes, what could we more say about the course curriculum? Yes, in year 3, if you should feel that you're not abroad enough when you get here, you can actually exchange any of the courses in semester 5. So that would be the autumn of year 3. And you can go to study at any of our partner universities if you would like. So the 4 courses you can see in year 3 here are not mandatory to graduate. You can exchange them for whatever you want. But of course, you will miss some great courses by our great teachers. So I hope that you would like to stay here that year as well. And of course, as you can see, there are some complementing courses and activities within the different courses that teach you the scientific stuff. So you get to practice doing some research, so you are prepared for your thesis work. And once you have done your thesis work, you hopefully graduate. And what will you get when you graduate? Yes, you will get a Bachelor of Science within informatics. We also believe that you will get a strong foundation to work with any part in IT. As you saw from the curriculum, and as I mentioned before, we try to give you a little bit of everything, so you are prepared, so you know how everything fits together, and you perhaps have found what you are most interested in, and then you can feel that you're prepared to deep dive into that once you start your working career. It's too early to say, as we are only starting the second year here for this program. So it's a bit early to say where our students end up. But if we look at our sister program, the NSA program, which has a similar profile, they end up working, for example, like cybersecurity analysts, red blue team members in a SOC, Security Operations Center. They work as IT security specialists, network technicians, cyber operations specialists, and so on and so forth. A lot of fancy roles and a lot of good, nice, fun jobs, making the world a better place. After your studies here, you will also be well prepared to continue your studies at the master's level, either at some other university or at our university. We have a program that we like to call PICS. It stands for Privacy, Information Security, and Cybersecurity. And it's a really good master program in the same field as this Bachelor. So if you want to progress your academic career, that is a really good option that you can take as well. Some nice news upcoming here that relates to our program is that we are trying to build a cyber range. And if you haven't heard of a cyber range, it's a really, really cool lab environment where we can practice cybersecurity and war games, you can say. We have red and blue team, we have attacker, we have defenders, and we can put up very cool scenarios where you get to get some practice and really work with real threats. And this is in addition to our lab that we already have, which consists of 5 rooms with 160 computers that you can do whatever you want with. You can build networks, you can build things from scratch, setting up systems however you want. You can lab, you can test, and it's available to you as much as you want. So this is in addition to an already really good lab environment. I would like to get show you some student feedback from previous years here. I asked the second year students during a program meeting before the summer what they thought about the program so far. And they mentioned things that the lab environment is very fun, topics that have been covered is really good, is a lot of practical work, and there's a lot of practical work. And that is good because you actually get to know what you're dealing with, and the people is a good thing to highlight here as well, because students are close to the teachers, and we as teachers like to be close to the students as well and help you when you need help. We usually roam around in the lab environment when you are working in your spare time and just try to be helpful. And I realize that this picture is covering something else, but I can get back to that in a second. Also, I would like to give a friendly word of advice. Because you're international students, there is unfortunately a lot at stake here, because we try our best to give you the best possible education. And to do so, we need to start easy, and then we need to have a progression throughout your studies, making things harder and harder. And due to that, we have a lot of prerequisites. So that means that you actually need to pass the courses in the beginning in order to be admitted to and take the upcoming courses next semester. So, and being international students, if you aren't registered for full-time or 30 credits each semester, you will get in trouble with the migration office or the migration agency. So this is not to scare you off. What I would really like to highlight is for you to engage in your studies from the beginning, because if something goes wrong, the consequences will be a bit tougher for you as your international students. Also, we have the admission requirements are that you have a high school diploma, secondary diploma, upper secondary diploma, and that you have proven proficiency in English. And this is really important to know, that you are expected to know English well enough to understand the teacher's slides, the teacher's literature, and the lectures. So make sure that you have prepared before you get here. Okay, so please, that was a very short introduction, but please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them. I see that we have a lot of things in the chat already, but please use the Q&A section if it's available to you.
Thank you, Marcus, for your presentation. We have a few questions here in the Q&A. And the questions are country specific. I'm going to read the questions, but I will try not to read your names because of GDPR rules. So I am from Nigeria, and the NECO certificate alongside with my national diploma in computer engineering and higher national diploma in computer science from Nigeria. I would like to know if this qualification grant me eligibility to gain admission into your reputable university. Listen, it is difficult for us to know exactly what this diploma is. I want to tell you that University Admissions is the website that receives our applications. There are specific web pages for all countries in the world, the countries that you have studied. So I'm going to give you the link to Nigeria, and you have to check this on your own. Okay, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay, so in the link you can see that you meet the requirement. They list the different certificates that are from Nigeria. If you study there at high school level, that meets the requirements. Okay, and on this page also, if you scroll down, you can see information about the English requirements, how you meet the English requirements. And by the way, the minimum English requirement is the equivalent to English 6 in Sweden. In Sweden, there is a course at high school that is called English 6. So you need to have the equivalent to that. And if you are from Nigeria, I can see that you meet that with some GCE O level in English, and there are some other certificates. So, but this is country-wise, how you meet this English 6 level. And I think I answered your question. You're from Nigeria, do you want? And now I have a question also. I have worked as a technical support and a little bit of experience in network support. Does it give me a chance to be admitted plus the other requirements I have? Marcus. Work experience.
Experience. Yes,
Work experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see, a little bit of experience now. Does it give me a chance to be admitted plus the other requirements I have? As far as I know, it will not give you an edge in the application process because, as Andrea said, we have general entry requirements, which are an upper secondary diploma and proven proficiency in English. Other than that, we don't take anything else into consideration. However, having some kind of experience from the IT field is always beneficial because it's easier to understand what we're talking about, and it might be you might be able to draw some parallels to real life scenarios that you've been in. So it's never a bad idea. However, in the admission process, I don't think it will have any. Give you any edge.
Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, and if you want to tell us which country you come from, we can give you also the link to your country, to the country, not the country you come from, but the country where you have studied your bachelor studies. Okay. Next question. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you, even if you have already taken courses at the university, this is a bachelor's program. So you always need to submit your high school documents, okay? The certificate and the grade transcripts. This is a requirement. And hello, I'm from Pakistan. I have done FSc in computer science with physics, math, and computer. In fact, we don't know what SC is. Math and computer. I'm interested in a bachelor's in cybersecurity and network administration. Could you please tell me if I'm eligible for this program, how the merit point system works, and what extra documents are needed besides the educational ones? I think I can answer that one. So it is the assessment of high school studies is done by the admission officers of University Admissions. University Admissions is the website of the Swedish Council for Higher Education. They will assess all your upper secondary studies or high school studies, all the grades, all the subjects, and they're going to list that. So this ranking will be done by them, okay? And then we're just going to see if you meet the requirements, and there will be a ranking. So that's how the merit point systems work, okay, depending on your grades there. So they're going to do that. Faizan. And you still have another question. I'll be applying through you. Oh, there is a question also about extra documents. Yeah, if you are from Pakistan, you probably, I'm going to put here the link to Pakistan so that you can see probably the English requirements you need to have extra. You need, you can check this link I put there for Pakistan. Meeting the English requirements. So upper secondary studies completed in Pakistan does not meet the English requirement. Then you need to complete to have an English certificate, proficiency certificate as the IELTS or a TOEFL. There are different certificates also that are listed here. And the link to the English is on University Admissions webpage under meeting the English requirement with an English test. And it should be equivalent to English 6, okay? And can I start the application without waiting for my graduation? Will I get a conditional admission approval before the graduation? No, unfortunately not. We are very sorry for that, but unfortunately not. Here in Sweden, we cannot accept, for bachelor studies, we cannot accept that. You need to finish your high school before. So we're going to talk about this later on during the application procedure. You need to submit the documents in the beginning of February. And so if you're going to graduate only in June, then it's not possible for you, unfortunately. You would have to wait until the coming year to start in 2027 instead. Okay. So this was answered. What about someone like me who has a baccalaureate in the French one, preparing? I don't know which, there is information also for the ones who are taking, let me see here. If I can put us, I can try to find this link and give to you later, okay? Yeah. Now there is finally a question about the course. Marcus, the next one. The course used to be very practical, which was drawn me here, coming from Germany. I know the studies are to be burned with a lot of theory. I'm sure there is some theory in this course as well. So could you please elaborate a bit about the theoretical parts of this course?
Yes, absolutely. Very good question. And we know that it's important to know the theory because it's important to know what you're doing. But we also know that you will not learn as well if you just read and don't do. So almost all our courses, I would say that it's roughly 50-50 in all courses between theory and practice because they go hand in hand. You can't just read about how it is to defend yourself from a cyber attack. You need to experience it and try different solutions. So I would say it's a really good mix in all courses. We strive to give you the theoretical foundations, so you know what you're doing, but we also want to give you challenging exercises so you actually get to try it out for real as well. I hope that was an answer to your question.
I think so. If you still have questions, please type them in the Q&A. Yeah, if I come back to the questions here from this anonymous attendee here about the IB program, you know, IB program, we need to have the documents by the 2nd of February. I was checking here if there is any information about IB students, but this program does not have a second admission round. It's just the first admission round. So you really need to have the documents before June. You need it in the beginning of February. Mhm. And okay, there is another question. I'm from Pakistan. I have completed my ICS intermediate in computer science, and I'm interested in enrolling at the University of Skövde. Could you kindly advise on any additional or supporting documents that I can submit along with my application? So you need to check the country-specific information for the country where you have studied. Okay, so if you type a country there, I can put the link for you later in the chat. Do we need to submit a motivational letter with addition to educational documents from Pakistan? Marcus?
Do I have to submit a motivational letter? No, you do not have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, and I'm from Pakistan. I have done all my studies in English, language as a primary, as I have seen on the website. And if I show my academic record and proficiency letter from my university, I can get admission. And then I go to the specific country requirements. It shows that I can still apply for university while having proficiency letter that is verified. But I have talked to the university and they said, yeah, it's not accepted anymore. The university, even if you have studied in English at your school, you still need to present, if you're from Pakistan, because if you have studied in Pakistan, they don't accept that. They don't accept that. And also, please also check when I send you the links in the chat for the country instructions, that sometimes there are specific country instructions for the country that with the authorities from your country. For example, if you are from Pakistan, there is this specific certification that you need to have from this board committee of chairman, IBCC in Pakistan, for example. So it's very specific about each country. Okay, so please check it out. And the English certificates, the IELTS or another accepted proficiency test is really necessary in your case for Pakistan, students for Pakistan. Okay, now I am from the Philippines, but living in Sweden. In addition, I do have upper secondary diploma, K-12 curriculum plus student permanent record. Another question is, do I need to take an exam for the English 6 level 2 if I have the subject in grade 11? Oh, this is so specific question, Angelica. Yeah, have you studied? If you have studied, do you know the answer, Sarah?
No, I don't know the answer to this, but I'm also thinking we're going to talk about more of these things later on in the presentation.
Yeah.
So a lot of these questions might be answered in the presentation later, and we're also having another Q&A at the end for more specific questions. I'm just thinking if you guys have questions for Marcus right now, because he's not going to stay for the entire presentation today. So if you have questions for him, please feel free to ask them right now so that he can leave, as I know that he's not going to stay the entire time.
Thank you for reminding us about this. These ones we're gonna answer later on. Do you see any question to Marcus here?
I'm looking. No, I just see a bunch of questions regarding the admission and things like that.
Yes, and I can also tell you guys that we're having a specific webinar for admission, how to make a successful application to our university. We can also link that in the chat as well, so you can sign up for that if you have specific questions and you need help with your application, because a lot of you might need help with it, and we can help you during that specific webinar. So I can link that in the chat for you guys as well. But no, currently I don't see any questions. That's
also.
Yeah, perfect.
So this is the link to register. It's on the 27th of November at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So motivation letters are not necessary. CV not necessary. They, you know, as it's a bachelor's program. So the ones who are going to do this assessment is the Swedish Council for Higher Education. So the admissions officers, not even our local admissions officers, we're going to do this. The first assessment will be done by the Swedish Council for Higher Education. They do this comparison between your high school studies and the high school studies in Sweden. So they will also rank the students. They will do all that. And so you don't need to submit any motivation letter. You don't need to submit CV, nothing like this. Just the documents that are mentioned in the country, in your country, in the country where you have studied. Okay. So if it says that you need a certificate, an IELTS, you know, an English certificate, then you need to present it. If it says that with your high school studies you meet the requirements, then it's fine. Then you follow the information that is there, and also how you submit it.
There is a question here that says, I've completed my 3 semesters in my country university in Pakistan in cybersecurity. I want to ask if I can transfer myself to your university so that 3 semesters that I can skip them, or will I start from scratch at your university?
I can answer that. I don't know if you want to answer. Do you want to answer, or can I answer that, Marcus?
No, sure, please do. Please do.
Yeah, you know, you have to apply as any other student, as if you, with your high school and you know, documents. And then what happens is that when you get admitted, the admission results will be sometime in the end of March next year. And then you have to be in contact with one of our student counselors, and you have to present all the documents from that you have studied at the university in your home country, so that they can do this assessment to see which courses or part of courses that you can transfer the credits. Sometimes you can transfer the credits from one whole course, 2 courses, or sometimes it's even parts within a course. And this assessment will be done with, she will help you prepare this application after your admission, you know. So at this stage, you have to apply as if you don't have anything, any university studies. And then later on, you have to get help with a study counselor, and she will sit together with Marcus, and they are going to assess this to see which parts of the course you don't need to take.
There's also, yeah, sorry, Marcus.
Okay, no, I was just thinking, in addition to what Andrea said, you should also be careful about doing this, because the Swedish Migration Agency requires you to be registered for a certain amount of credits each semester in order to stay here in Sweden. So depending on your situation, it might be that you, if you are transferring credits, so which means that it might cause issues.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, something to be aware of.
Yeah, maybe for the 3rd semester, I would say when they renew or something like that. But yeah. But you can always discuss this with the study counselor, because you can also take for free some Swedish courses as well, like Swedish language courses that you could count for the migration. Yeah.
Yes. But not 3 semesters worth of courses.
No.
No. There's a program-specific question in the chat, so I'm just going
Yes.
to read that to you. Does the program include a company placement or internship as part of the studies?
Unfortunately, no. We would really like to have that. The problem is that we are so many students and we need to find internships for everyone in order for this to work, and that is quite hard because it's also within a field where most companies will not let you in and do any meaningful work because they won't let you into their most private, secure stuff. So we got a question more, how much study gap accepted? Do you mean that how many courses can I miss before something happens, or?
Well, I think she means that she has finished the high school a long time ago, and now
Yeah, okay.
she has another things, and now there's no problem here in Sweden.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a question about scholarship. We're going to talk about tuition fee later. So we are a public institution, so EU citizens do not have to pay any tuition. So citizens of countries outside the EU, they need to pay tuition fees in Sweden. This is for all universities. And unfortunately, we don't have scholarships for bachelor studies. We don't. We only have for masters. And then for masters, we have 3 different options for scholarships. But for bachelors, we don't. So what we tell the students is to check scholarship possibilities in their home countries. So we know of, and we even had students with benefits from Canada, from the United States. We know that in India, they can apply for scholarships, in China. So you have to check scholarship possibilities in your home country for you to study abroad. Mm. Yes. Are there more questions to Marcus?
I don't see any more questions to Marcus. If you guys have any, post them now, please. Mostly there's questions about admission, English. Yeah, and like I said, we will have another Q&A at the end as well, where we're going to go through these questions. But I think it will make more sense to you guys when you've heard the rest of the presentation.
Yes. Great.
Yeah.
So
should we move on and let Marcus, if you want to stay, of course you can. We're not going to kick you out of the chat, you know. But if you're not able to, we totally understand.
Absolutely. I will stay for a while in case there are any questions.
Of course. Yeah, you're so welcome.
Yes. So maybe you can share the presentation so that we can continue, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So let's move on. So the Q&A, we had it. And now the international programs. Sarah, do you want to have a quick overview of the programs we offer?
Of course, yes. I know a lot of you guys are here for the bachelor's program in cybersecurity, but we also have a lot of different programs here at the University of Skövde that might be interesting to you. And like Mike said earlier, there are also master's programs that might be interesting to you if you want to plan ahead for your future. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of what we have here so you're aware, and maybe you have a friend that wants to study and you can give them the tip that we have that program here. So for our international programs, we actually have 24. We have 4 full-time programs at a bachelor's level. They're all 3 years long. And at a master's level, we have 20 full-time programs, and they're ranging between 1 to 2 years. They're in behavioral science, bioscience, business and marketing, engineering and technology, game development, health sciences, and informatics. And if we go to the next slide, we can see the bachelor's programs, and I'm just going to run through them so you've heard them. And you can, of course, find them on our website as well. But for a bachelor's level, we have biomedicine, cybersecurity and network administration, which I hope you know by now, molecular biodesign, and molecular bioinformatics. That's a tongue twister. Then for our one-year masters, we have artificial intelligence for bioinformatics and biomedicine. And those two, the asterisk there means that these only run in the spring, just so you're aware. Business development and marketing, cognitive neuroscience, mind and brain, data science, games aesthetics and narration, infection biology, molecular biotechnology, and molecular ecology. And the two-year masters are biomarkers in molecular medicine, computational methods in engineering, data science, game development, player experience, game development, serious games, infection biology, intelligent automation, molecular biotechnology, molecular ecology, privacy, information, and cybersecurity. And that's the one that Marcus talked about earlier. And of course, systems biology with a specialization in bioinformatics. So like I said, you can read more about these on the program web pages, and you can just scan the QR code here and you will get there. And there's a lot more information if something sounded interesting to you. We also have a lot of webinars remaining where you are going to be able to listen to information about these programs, and a digital open house coming up that you can also sign up for. So there's a lot more information coming from us, absolutely, about all the programs. So moving on. Let me see where we're here. Yeah.
So about the partners, industrial partners, do you like to say
Exactly. Of course, yes. So here at the University of Skövde, we work a lot with our partners. We actually work with world-leading companies, and they drive the innovation, sustainability, and digital transformation that really drives our school forward. So just to give you an idea, within the automotive industry, we work with Volvo and Scania. I'm sure you've heard of at least one of those. In technology and electronics, we work with ABB, Huawei, and Microsoft. In manufacturing and engineering, we work with Sandvik and IKEA. And in healthcare and life sciences, we work with AstraZeneca. And in food and agriculture, we're working very closely together with the Swedish food brand Arla. So these partnerships, we're very proud of them because they really reflect the trust and quality of our education and of our school. And you as students actually really benefit from this because you're able to build real industry connections while you're still students and experience what it's like working out there in the real world. And that really improves your career prospects for the future as well. So Andrea, do you want to tell us a little bit about Skövde Science Park? Because that's a fun one.
Yes, of course. So the university collaborates with the Science Park Skövde, and it is located next door to campus. It is a center of research and innovation that was established in 1999. Where the aim was partially to create interaction between, the business community and academia, so with the university and our partners within the industry. So the other aim also is to help students who graduate from the university, mostly within the IT field, to start their own companies, which is done in a business incubator. The Science Park Skövde employs about 10 business developers to support the students throughout the process. So the Science Park Skövde is continuously expanding. I saw you the campus overview before, so we are expanding a lot in the city. And they are even creating something called Science Park City. So yes, Sarah, do you want to talk about another facility we have that is ASTAD?
I'll talk about Swedish Game Arena first, I think.
Yes.
Since that's the next slide. But ASTAD is also interesting, so we'll get to that later. But let's first talk about the Sweden Game Arena because that's related to the IT field, and you guys can probably relate to that, and maybe you're interested in a master program in that or something. So just so you're aware, Sweden Game Arena is located right here in Skövde, and it's actually a hub for game development in Sweden, which we're very proud of. It consists of 200 game developers and over 500 game students. So yeah, it's definitely a melting pot for like all of these gaming people that come here to Skövde. And I actually met a student the other day who He's not studying gaming, he's studying something else, but he had come there to Sweden Game Arena to like look around, meet some people, and he was so baffled because he'd met the person of this game that he plays this game every day, and he met the creator here in Skövde, and he was like, I'm so amazed. Like, you have a city of 60,000 people, and there are so many developers here. And this guy, like, I play this game every day, and it's so cool. So he was really amazed by that. And I thought I was so happy for him that we kind of got to do that for him. So yeah, that was really fun. So yeah, Sweden Game Arena is definitely a melting pot where a lot of people just come together, and the gaming nerds are there, you could say, right?
Exactly, and Skövde is famous worldwide because of the Sweden Game Conference that was held last week.
Yeah, exactly, yes. So maybe you want to talk about ASA, Andrea.
Yeah, I can do that. So another great example of collaboration that we have here between academia and industry is ASAR in the industrial innovation arena. And it offers manufacturing and technology companies a world-class innovation environment to provide new solutions for the future. It is like a meeting place. It's like a showroom where different stakeholders within the manufacturing industry or technology companies can find relevant contacts. So when you're here, you should definitely go there.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. And so these slide shows just 3 of the research environments we have, but the researchers at the University of Skövde, they want to contribute to making changes in the world. That is why our research efforts are carried out in tight collaboration with the community, and the research has a clear connection to the education at the university. So if you scan the QR code, you can see the research and even get to the link to the research in informatics as well. And Swedish courses, of course, we offer free Swedish courses for the students. They are very popular, you know, and there is this course, Swedish Society and Swedish Culture, 3 credits. And I mean, learning Swedish is one of the best ways to feel at home here in Sweden and to boost your career as well. So that's why we offer Swedish courses to help you settle in, to make local friends, and to open more job opportunities after you graduate. So many companies in Skövde and across Sweden appreciate employees that can speak a little bit of Swedish. So this is why we offer these courses for free for our students from all over the world. So, so this is a great investment in your future. It's for free. Of course, they are not mandatory. They're optional, but you can take them. So this course, it starts during the introduction program, and it is introduction to culture and Swedish culture and society. And then you're going to learn useful words and phrases in Swedish. And this is free if you take this during your first semester of studies. So it's in the autumn semester, your first semester. Okay, I'm going to show you another course that is also free. It is the Swedish for Foreign Students Oral Proficiency and Listening Comprehension. This is a 7.5 credit course, and there you're going to learn basic communication in Swedish, basics in Swedish phonology and pronunciation. And this course is for free if you take it during your second semester of studies. So the semester that starts in January. Okay. So after the completion of this course, you will be able to introduce yourself and ask and respond to basic questions regarding jobs, studies, interests, and others at restaurants, and so you will master the basics in Swedish phonology and pronunciation in this course. So now let's talk about a student life. Sarah, do you want to talk about the learning and teaching style here?
Yes, of course. So this, I think, is something that is important to mention because we, like I said earlier, we have a lot of international students at our school, so we're very familiar with how you guys, what you guys feel when you come here. And something that a lot of international students here do feel is that our learning and teaching environment is quite different from what you're used to. So that is partly because in Sweden, we're very focused on the students' independent thinking. A large part of your learning process is going to take place outside of the classroom. So you might have maybe just 1 lecture 1 week, or maybe 3, but it's not going to be every day probably for most of your weeks. but you're still supposed to study for 40 hours every single week. And you are meant to do that independently and together with your fellow classmates, of course. So yeah, keep in mind that your studies are full-time, even though you don't have class every single day. And you will also find that here in Skövde we have, or in Sweden in general, we have a flat organization. And what that means is that we are close to each other. Like Marcus said earlier, the teachers and the students are close. That also means we go by first names here. So I call Marcus, as you heard, and not Mr. And Andrea is Andrea. And that's just how we do it here. And I know a lot of people find that quite strange to begin with, but you get used to it quite quickly, actually. And it's very nice to use your first name, I think. Yeah, we have student-centered education. And what does that mean? Well, like I said earlier, we have 2/3 academic staff. And that means you have a lot of support from your teachers. And they're very focused on enabling you to develop your critical thinking skills, your analytical thinking skills, your research skills, and your group work skills, just to prepare you for your future career, obviously. Another thing we're super proud of is our very international campus. And like I said in the beginning, we have more than 60 different nationalities here in Skövde at our school. And we find that this creates a global classroom where students encounter different cultural perspectives and they start building their international networks while they're still students, which is just an awesome opportunity if you want to continue on working and finding new contacts. So yeah, that's an opportunity you won't want to miss, of course. We also have the student support, Andrea. What can we say about that?
Yes, that's good. We are here to help you before, during, and after your studies. So please feel free to contact us to discuss how we can help you. We are located on the second floor of Building E here on campus. We can provide you both general study counselor and career counseling for your future career and discuss, discussions to think how you think more clearly and identify the available paths and opportunities in order for you to get where you want to be, So all contact with the student counselors is protected by a duty of confidentiality. So if you talk to our colleagues that are study and career counseling, you can tell them everything. You don't need to worry. And we also have sitting coordinator we have two coordinators for studying with disabilities here at the university. So if you have dyslexia, ADHD, or any other form of disability, so you can contact our colleagues. It should not prevent you from studying at the University of Skövde. So we provide you various kinds of targeted study support and adaptations in order to make your studies easier. So maybe you need to visit the university before the semester begins, or maybe you want to go through to help to go through your timetable, the schedule, to visit the room in which you're going to spend your first day. So all these things you can discuss with our coordinator for students with disabilities. And they also help even the teachers also who need to meet these special needs. Yes, and the library.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the library, Sarah?
Of course. First, I'm just going to say that I saw Marcus wrote in the chat that he had to leave now, but he left his email there. So if you have questions that are program specific, you can always send him an email and he will try to get back to you as soon as he can. Yeah, so just so you're aware. But I will mention some quick things about the university library, just because that's one of the favorite spots of our students. I think every time I've asked a student recently, like, what's your favorite spot on campus? It's always either our G building, which is a very beautiful building, or the university library, because the university library just has a lot of things for students, basically. So there are group study rooms, there's free access to books and articles, both in physical and digital form. Another student told me the other day that if you need a book and they don't have it, they will order it for you usually. So that is also a really good support that you guys have there. And they also have the Study Support Center. And I'll just mention that really quickly because I think that's super important and really a benefit for you guys, because the Study Support Center helps you with writing academically, which can be a very big transition if you've never done that before. So I definitely recommend contacting them about that. And that is regarding everything like language, the style of writing, how you structure your writing with paragraphs, and how you're referencing using citation marks, all of that. They will help you out with that, of course. So yeah, a very good asset at our university, I would say. And just shortly about student life then, Andrea.
Yeah, student life. So the student union has their own house here close to campus, is in a small forest. It's a park here in the city center where there is even a swimming lake. They have their own house there, the student union. So, and the University of Skövde, so there is this student union that represents all the students. And this is run by students, for students, and works with issues that affect students at the university. All students, academic issues and all that. It's not only for parties and trips, okay? And and this is run democratically by its members. You can become a member. It's not mandatory, but if you want to become a member, you can become a member. And all who study here in Skövde has the opportunity to become members if they want to. And they are an organization that works together with ESN. ESN is another organization. It's called Erasmus Student Network. And they are here to help all the students, international and Swedish, to achieve their time at the university as memorable as possible. They organize lots of events and even trips for students. ESN. So it's nice that you have contact with them. And there are many international students also, mainly international students in the board of ESN, right?
Yes. Also, one of our student ambassadors is the president of ESN. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Taylor, our student ambassador.
Exactly.
Go check our student ambassadors page. You're going to see Taylor. She's the president of ESN. And here you can see some voices from our students. You can see Teresa. She's from Nigeria. And she said, the best thing about the University of Skövde is its strong emphasis on practical learning and innovation. She's our student ambassador, one of our student ambassadors in engineering. We have two. We have also Taylor, that is the president of ESN. And Elliot from France said, one of my best experiences has been working on hands-on projects with peers from different backgrounds. And Bushra from Syria, she said, this struck me as the perfect place to kickstart my career as a researcher. I remember her. She moved to Sweden to study a master's in cognitive neuroscience. And then she got a PhD position in a university in Belgium. And she came to the university for some lectures and so on, a guest speaker. And now she's doing her, postdoc also. So it is just great to see how they develop, how they continue their careers. It's fantastic. And Faith Grace from the UK, as she studied biomedicine, she said, international education has expanded my experiences and perspectives. So it's really great. So I think you should contact our student ambassadors. Sarah, do you want to talk about the international introduction that we offer our students before the semester starts?
Yes, of course. I'm always so proud when we read what the students say. I think it's so great to hear. It's like such a good receipt that they like it here, and it's so great. But let's talk about the international introduction. If you guys are still awake and with us, which I hope you are at this point. So the international introduction, that's actually one of the reasons why we won Student City of the Year this year again. And this week, because it is a week and it's dedicated to you guys as international new students coming to our school. And it's meant to be a way for you guys to find new friends, but also to be able to solve potential problems that could arise and all of that stuff. learn about how to study here in Sweden. And it contains a lot of information for you guys. There's a program that you get to follow from the early morning until the late in the evening. And we talk about academic procedures. You get to see all of our facilities and services. There's a campus tour and usually also a city tour that you can go on with a bus, which is really cool. There's a social program also. So like I said, it's usually into the night hours if you have the energy for that, and you're able to meet new friends. And about this International Introduction Week, there are regular updates about that on this page right here. But right now, I know that it's dedicated to the spring students that are coming, that page. So it will be updated again for you guys as we get a little bit closer to your arrival date, of course. We also have exchange possibilities also for our international students, right?
Yes, we do. You know, if you're coming here to study your bachelor studies, you're going to be here 3 years at least, and you can choose to study one semester or even one abroad, you know, and do your thesis abroad or a semester. So overseas experiences and intercultural competence is becoming increasingly important. So we offer all of our students this study abroad or even trainship abroad opportunities with our partner universities. So yeah, so this is going to give you improved language skills, new perspectives, and international contacts also. Here at the University of Skövde, you can choose to study at one of our many partner universities. So if you scan the QR code, you can go to the page where we talk about exchange possibilities, and even you can check the Go Global. It's where you see our partner universities around the world. We have many partners. I don't know exactly the number because I don't work with the exchange, but I think we have more than 120, something around 120, 130 partners around the world. And so there are different options for exchange studies depending on which program you're taking here at the university. And I also want to talk about Ingenium, which is an alliance of 10 European universities, and it's like it makes just one campus in Europe. And these are the Deputy Vice Chancellor for internationalization here started, and this partnership together with the other universities, so there are 10 universities in Europe, and they create, these universities are very diverse. Some are old, some are new, some focus on research, some others on applied learning. But despite our differences, we share the same core values: education, research, innovation, and social engagement. So our diversity is a strength, and it makes us complementary and gives us a strong platform for cooperation. By working together, we learn from each other and we aim for excellence in education and research. So they create summer schools, they can create junior schools and you know, senior schools, they create staff exchange. It's really nice. So if you want to know more, you can scan the QR code. And let's talk now about tuition and living costs. As I mentioned before, Swedish students and EU citizens or citizens coming from the EEA area, they do not need to pay tuition fees in Sweden, but citizens coming from outside the EU do need to pay. So Sarah, would you like to talk about the tuition fees?
Yes. More numbers for you guys here, but I think you might be interested in this one. So as you can see, we have listed all of the programs here, the master's programs, as well as the bachelor's, but I think you guys are mostly interested in the bachelor's programs. And that's the 3-year program we're talking about today. And that is going to be 180 credits and 465,000 Swedish crowns. You will pay that in installments before every semester. So you'll be paying 77,500 Swedish crowns, which is around 7,000 euros. So roughly when you hear Swedish crowns, you can take away a 0 usually, and that kind of makes for the euro. So if that's easier for you guys. But yeah, those are the numbers that are going to be for the academic year 2026 and 2027. Mm-hmm. And we also have some living costs to think about, Andrea.
Yes, where their living costs, and this is an estimate, okay, that we put there. It's not, it really depends on your lifestyle, but according to the website from the Swedish Migration Agency, the maintenance requirements for a residence permit for studies, we don't call it a visa, we call it residence permit for studies in Sweden or student permit. So it's a minimum of 10,584 Swedish crowns per month. Okay, this is around um, 970 euros. Okay, and but this is for applications submitted on the 1st of January 2025 or later. So a new amount will be published on the 1st of January 2026. So it will be roughly that. So this is what we expect you to spend monthly here in Sweden, but of course it depends on your lifestyle. Very soon, Renti is going to talk with you, our student ambassador, and he's going to talk about this as well. You can ask him questions regarding scholarships. That I got questions before, and we don't have a slides for scholarships because we don't have scholarships. There are no scholarships here at the university or from the Swedish Institute in Sweden for bachelor studies. And so we recommend all students who are required to pay tuition fees, so students coming from outside the EU, to look for scholarship opportunities and possibilities in your home country. Okay, we know that there are in certain countries there are benefits that if you want to study abroad, you can get them. For example, in the United States, if you are eligible for the GI Bill benefits from the Department of Veteran Affairs, you can have all your school time here, all your bachelor studies paid, and you can even receive money from Canada, from India. There are different scholarships, also just scholarship programs. So please check in your home country the possibility, okay? And yes, so let's check now university student housing. Sara, do you want to talk about this, Sarah?
Yes. So where are you guys going to live then when you come here? You must be wondering that, because I sure did when I was going abroad, you know. That's definitely one of the questions that you think about. And so for our university, we do have 4 accommodational areas with furnished rooms. It's important to know that no families are allowed in these. We don't have guaranteed housing though, so it's first come, first serve with these. And you can apply to them as soon as you receive your admission. They're going to be around 365 to 460 euros every month, depending on which area you're in, because they're a little bit different. Yeah, if you're coming with a family or pets, which we can see the next slide, or you just want to live somewhere other than the student housing that we have on campus, we do have, I can recommend the largest landlord here in Skövde, called Skövde Bostäder, and you can find it through the QR code here as well. They have both regular apartments and student apartments. They're not furnished though, but families and pets are allowed in these. And we've written here that you can put your name in the queue when you receive your admission, but I talked to another student the other day who said that a really good tip is to put your name in as soon as you can. So when you know that, like, I have applied, you can put your name in the queue, because it's free to put your name in the queue, and then you will have enough points probably, because you're not coming here for a while, right? So you're going to be waiting for your admission, and when you receive your admission, you already have enough points to apply for an apartment, and I think that's a really good tip. So I would definitely do that as soon as you know that you're going to be applying.
True, and I would even recommend this to all students as well.
Yeah,
because maybe you don't want to study in a student corridor your whole time, whole time you're here, all the 3 years. Maybe on your second year you want to go to another apartment, and then you have some queue points. So I would recommend everyone to put the names in the queue there. So let's move on now to student success story, and we have today a student ambassador here. Renti, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So, my name is Reddy, and I have prepared for you a small presentation just to demonstrate my experiences let me share. Can you see? Am I sharing?
You were
Yes.
sharing your PowerPoint. Yeah, now
Yes.
it's
Great.
correct.
Great. So I'm here just to express my experiences through the eyes of an international student. So my name is Randy, and I am from Greece. I was born in Albania. And so I was raised in a Balkan culture, a blender of West and Eastern culture. So I started my academic path in the University of West Attica in Athens. I studied surveying and geoinformatics engineering. I applied Erasmus program. And I was a part of ESN, as Andrea mentioned. I used to be in Poland for 6 months as an Erasmus student. Then I applied for a master degree in geospatial technologies here in Athens. But with the love to data, I wanted to expand my knowledge. So I applied for the a master's degree in the University of Skövde. So in the data science, since this university was one of the first ones in Sweden that made it possible for us. So I'm going to speak to give you some reflections and some insights from my experience here. So first, I would like to tell you why did I choose Sweden. Sweden is a very beautiful country and has a world-class educational system and known as one of the best educational systems in the world. It has a very beautiful nature and it is very friendly and supportive environment. So the University of Skövde combines theoretical knowledge with real problem-solving exercises and assignments. It is an international and a global environment. I met there amazing people from India, from Pakistan, from Nigeria, and Africa, and a lot of Europeans as well, and Swedish people as well. So it was a very, very nice experience meeting all these new cultures. And this university, in addition to that, gives it has a very strong industry connections, and so it is much easier for us as students to contact different industries to apply for our thesis and our research if you want. So in addition to that, as Sarah mentioned, with the library, it has very, very nice a place where you can study. It has with a lot of group rooms and with a lot of books, so you can study there for as long as you want. I think it's open until 9 p.m. So you can spend there really a good amount of time with friends or alone, depends on your style. So regarding the educational system, and especially in my master, we had a lot of courses that blend theory with practical applications. The professors are dedicated to student success, and you can consider your professors as your friend, that you communicate as your colleague, that you can communicate all your challenges you have during your assignments, and they do their best to drive you in the best path so you can study alone and you understand and all the theory in depth. So all these educational style encourage creative problem solving and makes us to think as professionals, not only as students. So, so Skövde is a very, very beautiful town, a small town that is located between Stockholm and Gothenburg. And I call it that this is a very strategic city because it is in the, let's say, in the middle of Sweden, and you can go wherever you want very easily because you can have very good with trains, you can go wherever you want. So it is located between the two biggest lakes in Sweden, and if I'm not wrong, in Europe as well. So the landscape there is really amazing. So here you can see in Hovde with a red line, I have located the university. With blue, I have located there the student, the accommodation. I was living in the north one. It's called Nora Trangalen, and there were more than 300 student apartments. So it was a very, very good community where you could meet with all students from the university. On the south, you can see the Hovde in the city center. So all these distances where you can see here, they are not more than 10 minutes walking distance. So everything is very close, and this is very helpful, especially during the winter, because you can go wherever you want by foot, not in a very, very small time, like 10 minutes, you can be wherever you want. So this is like a more generic perspective of Hovde. You can see on the left, on the west, that there is a lake. It's called Billingen, and this is like the life, the heart of student life during the summertime, because all of us as students, we were going there in the lake and we were having barbecue and great time spending like on, let's say, on a weekly basis. You can have there during the winter, you can have there some skiing. So it's one of the best places you can have in Hovde. So regarding the university and general the community in Hovde, because as a student I found out that it's not only the university and the friends. You can feel that the community in Hovde, that it's very, very supportive. We could have their career programs where professionals were teaching us how to communicate our needs and within the industry. Also, the community offers free culture classes and language classes. So it's like Swedish language courses for better communication and integration in all levels. And this is, you can apply there as an international student or as a foreigner. So you can learn Swedish language much faster and boost your career path. So, as I said, it was surprising to me that the first week during the introduction week, we met the mayor there in Sweden, in Skövde, and we had some gifts with like some bags with the name of Skövde, and it was during those days they organized let's say a party where we could find different food, Swedish food, and meet the Swedish culture from the first days. And in the center of Skövde, you can have their theater and a museum where you can see some very nice exhibitions. So it's a very, very vibrant city. So, but when it comes to me, I found myself, I went to Skövde on 9th of August, and only maybe after 2 months it started snowing. It was really very snowy. It was very cold, and I was thinking for my country, where my friends were sending me pictures from Greece and people in the beach. The weather was very good, so I was a little bit sad. And because this was the view from my entrance, it was really very snowy. But I found out that I had made very, very good friends there, international friends like from Sweden, from Pakistan, from Iran, from the Netherlands, from Germany, India, Spain, like a very, very good team. We were almost like we were spending time on a daily basis all together. We were cooking together and studying all together. So it was a very, very good. I had a very good time, and then I was like so happy to be in Skövde that I didn't want to come back to my country at that moment. So here in Skövde, we spend a lot of time studying. Like as Sarah mentioned, here the demand is really high. It is like a full-time job, so we had to plan to study around 8 hours per day, maybe, or 6 or 12, depends on the assignments that we had. And we made a lot of friends because we were cooking, we were biking together, we were going to the lakes or the swimming pools and swimming, we were skiing, ice skating, and we were spending a lot of time as well in the KB, in the student club, where we had a lot of good time. So we were enjoying every single moment there. So about studying, as Sarah mentioned, there are a lot of group rooms in the library, but in addition to that, you can find a lot of group rooms in the other buildings, where you can spend time there until 12 p.m. So you can have a very good time and spend time in a very well organized with very good equipments there. And so here are some pictures from me and Michael and my friends studying all together. Then we were, as I said, we were eating together, cooking different food, and meeting during the winter with parents that they were coming to see their children, the students. So we were having parties in the KB here. You can see some pictures, the parties are thematic, so you can use dresses and you can have great time. So life is very vibrant here in Skövde. And you can see here the amazing sky in Skövde. Like this is the aurora here. It disappeared before we go to the Shrek night. So it was like a very funny situation with the green sky. And so Skövde by winter, as I said, it is a cold city. The temperature on average can be to minus 10, but this never stopped us to go out there and walk in the mountains and have some barbecue and enjoy every single moment of our life there. By spring, the snow goes away and the grass starts to raise with the beautiful flowers, and this creates a very beautiful nature where every one of us enjoyed, and we are planning on a weekly basis to go to the mountain and have some good and quality time. As you can see here, these are some lakes nearby Skövde. I was surprised by the beauty of the nature there. And here you can see that there are some extremely crazy people. Let's say I call them crazy Swedish people, because on the left you can see that Swedish people can swim in the lake even in the winter in a very low temperature. But for us, it was, of course, we were waiting August or June to start swimming and have some sunbath there. In Skövde, you can have very nice activities because you can, in the mountains, you can even climb trees and have quality time with friends. And here are some other pictures from the mountains, from the hill of Billingen, where wherever you go, there are organized places where you can have barbecue and spend a good time with your friends. And here is a mix of, I would say that Skövde is very beautiful in during all the seasons, in summertime, in spring, in autumn, in winter. You can have different style and have very good time. So Skövde is calling, and I want to ask you if you are ready to come there, because there will be a lot of students that will be waiting for you, and to organize events so you can meet with other students and create from the first day a good bonding and start your experience in the best way. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm here to answer any question regarding the accommodation and how I felt from the first day. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Reddy. Thank you. It was amazing
you.
to see your presentation. So nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So if you have questions, please type them in the Q&A so that he can answer you about accommodation and all that. I have been answering some questions that were open in the Q&A, and they are answered. So I answer them in written form. But let's see other questions to Lindy.
I can't see any specific questions right now.
Mm.
I can ask you a question, Ante.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the thing that you were most surprised about when you came to Sweden? Like, what was something that was like, oh, this is weird, or
Yeah, I can say that I will tell you the first thing that I had in my mind when I came across the street after the train. So everything was very, very clean. It was very well organized. On August, everything was green, so it was a very, very beautiful, this fresh air. Uh, this was shocking to me because I come from a metropole in Athens where things are very crowded. So
Yeah.
this was the most shocking thing to me. And the second one is that everything is very well organized. Like everybody is very helpful. Like when I went to the room, I was asking for some help because I had no bed, no desk, and nothing. So I went to Skövde office and I asked for some help, and they helped me at once. They gave me a bed for free and
Oh,
everything.
wow, that's so
So,
nice.
like the first feeling I had there is that everybody tries their best to make me feel like home. So even if I was alone in Skövde, I felt a part of the community. Everybody tried to help me at once. So this was something very. I was shocked by this hospitality, let's say.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice to hear.
And
Lovely.
when it comes to the educational system, I come from a different educational system here in Greece, where it is like professor centered, let's say,
Yeah.
and professors are the demands are very high, and they are like, let's say, running after you and asking for you to do the assignments and so on. And they are very specific with the assignments that they are asking for. But here in Sweden, I saw that the approach is it's a little bit different because at least in my master's degree, we were asked to create our own problems, like a data science problem, for example, and to elaborate on our own ideas. So from day one, we were starting thinking as professionals, not only as students that we are learning. So we were learning in the class, we were learning about the theory, and then we were going back home and collaborating with other students and trying to understand how we can apply this theory to a real problem. So
Yeah.
this was exciting and sometimes time demanding, because doing all these things like creating your own ideas may be demanding in time-wise, but this was one of the best things, the best feelings I had in the university as well.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
So what was your, like, if you would give advice to somebody that wants to study here in Sweden, what's the best advice that you can give?
To be themselves, like nobody is judging anyone in Sweden, because I come from a country that we like to be a little bit biased towards different cultures. And here in Athens, in Greece, we are Orthodox, so we are a little bit. Any other culture is a little bit too far from us. But in Sweden, I saw that everybody's accepting anyone, and you can be a part of the group anytime and just be a good person, be respectful, and everybody will you will have the same chances with anybody else. So just be yourself, be open, communicative, express yourselves and don't be shy to call anyone on the phone and start having a conversation, being all together. So do not be shy and be yourself.
Yeah.
This is the first thing
That's great advice. Yeah. Do we have anything in the chat?
No, I don't see anything. It was so nice when you said that also that you have to see the studies as your job, because right, then you can succeed in the projects that you're doing with the companies, and that's great.
Yeah, because the theory in any, like I've studied geoinformatics and I had another master as well, but I was feeling always as a student in my previous. While in Sweden, I was feeling as a professional, like as a consultant. So I was trying to create a problem, let's say, like to analyze thousands of data. And I was trying to find how should I approach the problem and give some value to the business, let's say. So I was feeling like a consultant from day one. So I think this is the Swedish approach, like learn and apply.
Yeah. And I can also say from experience, because I have studied both abroad and in Sweden, but I'm Swedish, like I'm local to Skövde. But I've studied at different universities in Sweden. Like I've gone through a couple at this point. And I think the approach here in Skövde, since we are quite a small university, we do have that benefit of having that close connection with the teachers. Because in many other schools that I've actually been in, universities and so on, like it hasn't been the same as it is here. So I think that's definitely a huge benefit of studying at our university, that we have that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was shocked as well because during by the end of the semester, the professors were asking let's say, they were asking us what they could do better, like how to improve the classes and the lectures and so on. So our opinion was very important for them. And so year by year, they improve the service, let's say, the lectures, and it becomes much better. So since at least the University of Skövde was the first university in Sweden that applied the masters in data science, for example, this was very well centered towards the industry, like as students wanted to. So it is a very good, like this is what I loved in this university.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear from your perspective. It's really nice to hear, because Andrea is actually international because she's from Brazil. So she has some more experience with this. But like I said, I'm local, so I don't know what it's like to be an international student here. So it's always so nice to get you guys' perspective. And we're very grateful that you could come today.
Thank you. So I can see that there are there are not more than 20 participants. So since you are here now, I would suggest you to go and register in the Skövde Bostad, because accommodation here in Sweden can be a little bit challenging. So if you start counting points for the accommodation from today, then it will be much easier for you to have the privilege at the time to choose the best option that you can, the best flat, for example. So this can be this is very important, because I remember from during the first year there were many students that they were very stressed with the accommodation because they applied on just 2 weeks before they come to Skövde. So they were a little bit stressed.
And I remember you were very happy because you got a really nice accommodation. You were so glad with the accommodation.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
I was lucky because I was participating in this kind of webinar on November, like about 2 years ago. So I remember you telling us that, hey, register now because it's very important. So when it came to deciding, I was like, I had so many points that I didn't care. I could choose any apartment I wanted. So that's why I'm telling everybody to register from today, and saw it with my own eyes.
So everybody, after this webinar, please register. Read the information and register.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And I'm also, as Sarah mentioned, I'm from Brazil, and I moved to Sweden 18 years ago, and then I did my master's here at the University of Skövde as well, and I just fell in love with the city, and I've been living here. So since then, I've been working at the university for many years, for 15, 16 years. So I'm sure you're gonna like it. It's a small town, but it has everything that a big city has to offer, and it's safe and it's nice, and these interactions, close connections with the teachers, and I mean, it's not like that, but I can say I come from a very big city as Rio de Janeiro. So I would say that almost everybody knows each other here, or at least you know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Reddy.
Yeah,
Thank
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 you.
you,
very
Andrea. Thank
much.
you,
It
Sarah.
was amazing
Thank
to
you all
see.
for having the patience to listen to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And if you want to stay, you can, or if you can't, then we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an email as a student ambassador as well, right? Maybe
Yes.
you can leave your email in the chat so that they
Yes.
can contact you if they have another question.
Yeah.
There are many questions about how to apply and documents and all that. We are going through this now. But while Renta is putting the email in the chat, and thank you so much again. Thanks again, Renti.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
I'm going to share my screen now, and let's see. Can you see my screen? How to apply?
Yes.
Great. So, okay, we're going to go through this fast. Okay, I'm going to have another webinar on the 27th of November at the same time, starting at 2 o'clock Swedish time. And we're going into detail about this, but I'm going to give you the basics right now. So we don't accept any applications directly to the university. All applications to bachelor's and master's studies, they must be made via the website universityadmissions.se. This is the official website of the Swedish Council for Higher Education, and non-EU applicants, they must pay an application fee that is 900 Swedish crowns, and it's around 80 euros, okay? These can be paid by credit card, or there are bank transfer and all that. So this is required for non-EU applicants. But if you have citizenship within the EU, you must document your citizenship so that they can waive you this application fee. So the application must be submitted between the 16th of October, so it's already open for quite some time, and the deadline is on the 15th of January 2026. Okay, we have a long process, and if you really want to get admitted into the program, my recommendation is that you meet all the deadlines, because this program has many applicants, and late applicants will only be assessed after all the on-time applicants and document submissions have been submitted. So be on time, please, if you want to get admitted. And so these are the deadlines for the autumn 2026 admission round. We call only consider the first admission round. Okay. So the application is open, and the deadline for the application is on the 15th of January. The application is very simple. You just create a profile there. If you have already applied in previous years, use the same profile you have. Don't create multiple profiles. Please don't. Okay, use the same. And then on the 2nd of February, there are 3 deadlines. So it's the application fee deadline. It's the deadline to submit fee-exempt status. So if you are from the EU or EEA, you need to submit your passport to document that you are exempt from the fee. Okay, but everybody needs to submit the passport as well. If you have submit a passport for identification, but especially for the so that to be exempt from the fee, you need to show that you are an EU citizen. And then on the 2nd of February is the supporting documentation deadline. Unfortunately, we cannot accept you to apply, to submit. You can even submit later. I mean, nobody will say no, but you will be assessed by the documents submitted by the 2nd of February. So if you submit anything after the deadline and you have an on-time application, you are going to be assessed by university admissions, because I said that we don't assess this. It's going to be university admissions that will check your high school studies and your English level. Some people, depending on the countries where you have studied, you must submit a proficiency, an English proficiency test. Sometimes just with your high school diploma, you can get it. So you check the country-specific information. But so be on time. There are people who mention here that they are in the last year of bachelor's in high school studies, and that if it's possible that to be admitted with conditions, and unfortunately it's not. I said somebody in the chat saying, oh, it's not fair. I say, unfortunately it's not, and this is not our decision at the university. This is a national level from the Ministry of Education, the Swedish Council for Higher Education. They don't accept students that are not ready with their bachelor or with their high school studies. I'm so sorry. I think I'm tired. I've been talking for 2 hours. But so, yeah, in this case, you need a gap. If you really want to come and study in Sweden, you need to apply because you need to submit all documentation by the 2nd of February. And if I want to give you a piece of advice, it is to do everything as soon as possible. I mean, to apply as soon as possible and to submit the documents as soon as possible. If you are required to pay application fee, do it as soon as possible, because then they can check it. Another thing I want to tell you is that it's very important the order that you can apply. If you're applying to bachelors, you can apply up to 8 bachelors, and the order that you put them as your first priority, second, is very important. Why? Because you cannot get admitted to 2 programs. So if you meet the requirements of your first program, all the others will be deleted. It's not that I qualify for all the 8. Yeah, you may qualify for all the 8 that you apply, but you can only get admitted to 1. So they're going to give you the admission, if you get a seat, to the first one. If you don't get in the first one, you go to the second one, and then you go. So it's very different, the system, than in your country. So so check on about the priority you give to the programs you choose. So if you are on time and you meet all of the apply. So it's on the 31st of March, the admission results published for bachelor. So on that day, you're going to receive your admission results, okay, for bachelor studies. And there is no day to reply to the offer at the international. This is just university. This is the information from the Swedish Council for Higher Education. You don't need to reply. When you get admitted here, then you are admitted. Okay, if you are required to pay tuition fees, you're going to receive the first tuition fee for the first semester. There is a payment plan that Sarah mentioned before. And then the classes will start in the end of August or beginning of September. And this is the link. I have been putting this on the chat many times, and you check the autumn semester dates. Only look at the first admission round, okay? So I'm putting this in the chat, and then you have it. And then let's continue to the next slide. So the required documents. As a general rule, it's your upper secondary school certificate, okay, your high school certificate in the original language and the official translation in English, plus the grade transcripts in the original language and the official translation in English. And also proof of English skills. Sometimes it can be an IELTS or TOEFL. There are others also that are accepted. You have to check the list. I can go there and see you. And also check the country-specific requirements, because in the country-specific requirements, sometimes there is information on how you can verify your documents, or you can certify your documents in the authority in your country, some stamps you need to get. Sometimes it is your school that may need to submit something to university admissions and not to yourself. So you need to check this. Sometimes they tell you that no translation is necessary. So you check the information for you and the passport copy. So I'm going to show you just very quick here. You go there and then you can check your country instructions. And here, and this is for applying to bachelor's. Okay, if you're applying to master's, there are other pages. So there is one page per country for bachelor's and one page per country for master's. So here you see all the country lists, and you can check here the country. I'm going to give you this link because this is very important for everyone. And you have it there, and then you check the information in your country. Okay. So check the information if you need. For example, there were people there from Nigeria here that I mentioned before. I'm gonna just, so if you open a country here, they see one of these documents, these diplomas meets the certificate. And then you see here English requirements, how you meet the English requirement. In this case, from Nigeria, you don't need. If you have these two that they mentioned that, you don't need. But then there are special document instructions for Nigeria. You need this. And you need also this. So you need to read carefully and do exactly as they tell you on the country that you're applying from. Okay, that you have this, read everything. It's specific for each country. And yes, I think migration requirements. So once you get admitted, you receive your results, and the results will be on the 31st of March. Hopefully, you're all going to get admitted, and then you receive your tuition fee. And then those of you who are from outside the EU, EEA area, you need to pay a tuition fee. It's only for the first semester. And then you need to show the migration that you are admitted into full-time studies. And then this program is full-time studies. And your studies must be campus-based. It is. You must be able to support yourself during the time you're applying. So we talked about the living expenses per month, that it was around 10,600 Swedish crowns per month. So you need to show that you have that money in your bank account for the whole period you're applying for. And you need to have paid the tuition fee for the first semester before you send in your application. And if you scan the QR code, you can check the information at the Swedish Migration Agency as well. And then you can apply for 2 years and then renew for the last year of your bachelor's, or you can apply for 1 year, then plus 1 year and 1 year. And after you graduate, you can apply for another year to look for a job, to do internship, or even to open your own business here in Sweden. And yes, so Sarah, do you want to talk about our activities, our webinars?
Yes, of course, I want to talk about that. So if you guys are here right now and you're still awake, you're probably aware that this is a webinar that we're hosting today. We do have webinars for all the other programs that we also mentioned in the beginning of this session. However, these webinars, and some of them have passed at this point, but you're in luck because we're also hosting a digital open house on December 3rd. So I'm going to post a link to sign up for the digital open house in the chat right now, because I think you guys should come to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you do it too? Yeah.
Yes.
At the same time, that was cool. Yeah, so you should come to the digital open house, because then we have representatives and students from all of our programs there, right? So except for the ones that run in the spring, of course, but the autumn programs. Yeah, and also other webinars, like I said. And once you have been admitted, we also have specific webinars for that as well, to help you get ready to come to Sweden, because we think it's really important that you get all of the help and support that you deserve. And if we move on to the next slide, I can just share with you that we have student ambassadors, and there's a few more than this right now, but this is an older picture. But there's Renty there that you met. Yeah, exactly, that you met today. He's there. You can contact him. We also have a few other students. So if there's a different program that we talked about today that you feel like, oh, that might be cool, there's a student ambassador for that as well. So feel free to contact them. You have all their information. And I think Andrea also left that link in the chat right now. I can also mention that we have student ambassadors at Study in Sweden, and they have really cool stories that you will want to read. So if you scan the QR codes right here, you can read about their experiences with studying with us. And finally, I just want to say that if you guys have questions, because I'm sure that you do, we have a very dedicated study team here at the international office, and we love to answer your questions. So we try to answer them within 48 hours usually. Sometimes it might be a little bit longer than that, but just so you know, we read all of your emails and we will get back to you as soon as we can. This is our email, study@his.se. That's study@his.se. So write that down and contact us if you have any need for more information or have any more questions. Yeah. We're looking
forward to welcoming you in August.
Yeah.
Let's go for another Q&A right now.
I think for all of you guys that are still here, we're going to stop the recording now.
Yes.
And we'll do the final Q&A outside of the recording, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see here.